I am Ben Pryor. I'm the curator and producer for American Realness. It's a festival of new contemporary dance and performance that I started last year. This year it is more than twice as big as it was last year.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a festival that's trying to show new American work, that's trying to kind of rupture the legacy of the modern dance company and the understanding that that is the definition of what American dance is.
When you see my big fat ass up in action, you're gonna say, what? You can't help your attraction, but I ain't giving satisfaction. Yo, that's my balls you're sucking. That's my dick you're touching.
It's trying to sort of bring the focus to the fact that people aren't making work like that anymore. I mean, you know, some people are still making work like that, but there's a whole group of people that are not making work like that, that are not trying to replicate those models of company, of management, and producing the work.
You have like your major pieces that you apply for grants for and stuff. Like the ones that you apply to and you like hope you get the money, and then you get the money. It's like the fancy pieces, and those are the official pieces, right? Those are the ones that you put on your website.
And there's a whole new set of aesthetics that are happening, that are really embracing hybridity and pulling from visual art, pulling from theater, pulling from all sorts of different mediums to create the work that they're doing. And a lot of the time they're kind of doing it with nothing or very little support. That's part of where the realness comes from.
I don't see your feet moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. Havana, Gila, Havana, Gila, Havana, Gila, vanish. You can hold up the gel in front of your eyes. There's no problem. Pass it behind you. You look pretty ridiculous.
Realness is originally a term that comes out of this sort of queer community, or more specifically the sort of voguing balls that would happen in Harlem in the 80s. It's about passing. It's about saying, I'm not this thing, but I'm going to present myself as this thing, and I'm going to embody that presence, and I'm going to be it.
Dramaturgically, this has nothing to do with my piece.
Set out to create a platform for dance during the Arts Presenters Conference because, in my opinion, one was needed. I had 6 weeks. I knew very clearly that I wanted to work with, you know, Miguel and Liv and Trajal and Jeremy and Laird and Luciana and Zoe Juniper. You know, like it was all very easy for me to put it together. And then American Realness revealed itself to me once I had all those artists together. People convinced me that I had created a brand and that there is something to a brand identity and sticking with that and letting an idea grow over time and building an audience over time. So I stuck with American Realness and looked at, went at programming the festival with that in mind.
You think I'm here to entertain you? Is that it? Yeah, that was pretty retarded.
This work is kind of like no holds barred, it's giving itself to you. A lot of it is also queer or comes from a queer perspective. That's not a mandate by the festival, but it just so happens to be that a lot of it sort of embraces that in the way it deals with the body or the perspective of the maker or you know, any number of different ways. I'm also trying to paint a certain picture of the American scene that's cross-generational, you know what I mean, that can show something like Ishmael Houston-Jones and a work that was made originally in 1985 and 1986, and then show Larissa Velez and Jen Rosenblit, and you get Miguel and Ann Liv and Trajal in the middle, like, you know, and you have this range that I think hope provides a context for everything that you're seeing, you know what I mean? So you see the person that's just coming out and working with new ideas, and you see somebody that is really an experienced maker. The work is strong. The work is unique. These artists are specific in what they're doing, and they're making informed choices.
But at the same time, it has that uniqueness about the place, about about the crisis, about being do-it-yourself with everything.
Right. And Liv used to make these like really grand pieces that had hugely elaborate sets where every last second and detail of that work was completely choreographed and set, right? She's not getting that kind of support anymore, so she's making solo work, you know, that is kind of structured but largely improvised, but it still maintains this like complete and ultimate control that rests with her. But it's a complicated situation how the whole festival comes together. It's not, I don't have a budget to produce this thing. I'm not buying work the way that other festivals are. I'm really working with these artists to self-produce what we do here and structure the whole process for like how this is going to work financially, help build the partners that we need to realize those finances, and also to you know, to find space where we're going to rehearse, to find a way to actually have the work be made. We were able to use 2 spaces here at Abrons, so I could program the experience for an audience member. You know, I afforded them the ability to see something in the Playhouse and then come see something in the experimental and then go back to the Playhouse, and you had the opportunity to see 5 or 6, maybe more pieces in one day. Hopefully next year there will be a cafe and a bar, because I know that
because it was also a big party this year.
We also did
retro party.
The American Pussy Faggot Realness, which I had a lot of fun at. I hope other people did as well.
I did, but I have to. It was so packed.
It was very, very full. It was a little intense, but that's great.
They have turned. I was being respectful.
Uh-oh.
Go home and take care of your kids.
Because I have a babysitter.
I've only been doing this independently for 1 year, and I'm not even doing that within a structure, right? So like, I'm no expert by any means, you know what I mean? It's about being open to a certain flexibility and being willing to embark on a new direction. So this year it more than doubled in size and in budget. You know, even though there's not anything that we're working with, you know, we're all self-producing and then making that back with box office. We have not gotten any funding other than our own checkbooks. I'm hoping that will change.
Partners perhaps are providing space.
Yes, of course. I mean, Abrons is like welcoming us here and providing the space. You know, we've definitely had success in the press. We've definitely had success in terms of bodies and seats. It was largely sold out. The festival, all the shows basically in the experimental theater were sold out, which is remarkable. I mean,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for all this effort. You know, it's a lot of work.
It certainly is, but you're very welcome. I'm really happy to do it, and it's, you know, done a lot for me too. So
we need those, you know, visionaries and utopic minds. So okay.
Yes, thank you.